Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Farhan Adithia. My student ID is 20070510. I will be presentation about neurolinguistics. Neurolinguistics is known as a study of relationship between brain and language. Human brain consists of three main parts such as forebrain, crucial part, midbrain, the smallest part, and hindbrain, the lowest part. Basically, human language is located in frontal lobe of human brain where the left and the right hemisphere are located. Language are located. Language are used sometimes is more dominant in the left hemisphere, although the right hemisphere function for language. Especially the areas that are involved in language are frontal lobe, broca, and temporal lobe, wernicke. The lesion of brain will scientifically cause language disorder, which is known as aphasia. Neurolinguistics is field study that comprise the linguistic and medical science that study about relationship between language and human brain. The kinds of aphasia are Broca's aphasia, Wernicke's aphasia, undulated word deafness aphasia, conduction aphasia, anomic aphasia, aphasia, word-wide aphasia, and aphasia perusing and composing or dyslexia. The state of being of a solid cerebrum is vital to set up the exercise reasoning and acting. Hence, the mind should be secured fittingly. Neurolinguistic study is an investigation of understanding the elements of in handling language movement. In this review, the scientist studies how cerebrum assumes part in handling the exercise like talking, turning in, processing, composing, or utilizing the gesture based on communication for the people who utilize the method to impart their regular routines. The review isn't just with regards of to the elements of the human minds. However, it likewise centers around the field comprehend the challenge in utilizing language or language problems that include the exercise of talking, turning record as hard copy, and utilizing the communication via gestures. Human brain. Human brain consists of three parts which are known as forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Hindbrain is the lowest part located in base of skull. It has two important structures, medulla and cerebrum. Medulla oblongata controls respiration, reflex movement, distension, and heart beating. It also connects brain with spinal cord, and they are close. Cerebrum controls muscle spasticity, coordinates the muscle movement, and also controls body balance and body movement. The smallest part of brain is the midbrain, located above the brain stem. It functions for receiving sensory signal from the sense organ or receptor such as eyes and ears. When someone turns his head to the right, left, up and down, his eyes still are able to focus seeing the object. The development of neuroimaging techniques for static ones such as CT scan and MRI to today's very popular dynamic techniques PET, SPECT, fMRI, MEG, EEG, and evoke potential constitute of major breakthrough neurolinguistic research. They make it possible to study activity during linguistic or cognitive process in real time, but normally functioning lesioned brains. The activity patterns can then compare the model-based hypothesis about the cognitive steps in process. The combination neuroimaging and physicolinguistic experimental techniques is far from trivial, and nor are interception of result development of models, but this is highly interesting and formative area which is very productive. The most crucial piece of human cerebrum is forebrain, the region comprised of three construction thalamus, cerebral cortex nerve center, and corpus callosum. Thalamus capacities as the connector for the tactical sign to the cerebrum. Every one of tactical sign will be shaped of the cerebrum. The little cerebrum structure is nerve center. In any case, it has fundamental capacity. It is situated before frontal cortex and beneath thalamus. It controls the people's rational and feeling like eating, drinking, and sexual conduct. It additionally controls body homeostasis, for example, internal heat level, resting, and emission of chemicals from the specific organs at stomach and this digestive tract. It likewise controls the psychology like circulatory stain and hurt. This is the focal point of cerebrum that is associated with the autonomic sensory system. The largest part of brain structure is cerebral cortex. It controls experience that happen consciously and human brain power. These features make human different from animal, although they both have brain, of course. Cerebral cortex consists of two structures that are quite same. However, they have a different function and are known as right hemisphere and left hemisphere. The structures are connected by corpus callosum and the compressed axon. Axon function as the communication connector between the both parts of cerebral hemisphere. Human cerebrum has two halves of the globe, right side of the equator and left side of the equator. Both of the sides of the equator have unique capacities. Roger Sperry is biology master who has demonstrated every half of the globe human cerebrum has unique specialties. Beginning around 1891, the left space of mind is considered as predominant space of communicating in and language capacity. In any case, in light of the consequence of the experts since the most recent 20 years, it has shown right space of cerebrum moreover capacities for the language and talking. Human mind is partitioned into two sections, right half of the globe, left side of the equator. The two sides of cerebrum assume various parts, the left side capacity for decisive reasoning and the right side capacities for innovative thinking. Relation between brain and language. The issue is human brain and language has been argued by researchers for a long time. In 384 to 322 BCs, Aristotle argued about the function of brain. However, the indicator for this issue was argued after finding by Broca and Wernicke in 1860. Based on structure and orientation, human brain consists of two areas that are important for language as shown when the input is received from utterance. The sounds are heard by temporal earlobe, especially primary hearing. After the input is received, it will detail this gest and address. The language sound will be sent to Wernicke area to be interpreted. The Wernicke space, the language sound will be isolated by syllables, words, expression, statement, and sentence. In the wake of deciphering and understanding the real message of the sound, there are most likely two different ways. On the off chance that gotten input shouldn't be imagined, the info will be kept in the memory. In even the data should be considered verbally, the translation will be shipped of Broca's space. Through Ben Fasciculus, in Broca's space, the course of acknowledgement begins. In the wake of understanding the language sound, Broca region sent the message of the engine cortex to be executed. The execution instruction in the engine cortex isn't moderate. For essential expression, the significance 100 muscles and 140,000 chain of neuromuscular engage all the while. The engine cortex considers the arrangement of the word, yet additionally the arrangement of sound and element from the sound which are articulate. Trouble of or language disturbance. The brain is priceless gift from God make mankind because this is where it lays the human mind distinguish human and animals. Brain injury will affect person that experience it. Human brain that injured might not be responsive. Human brain that is normal. Studies that have been made by members of the neurology of two countries involved in the planning and understanding of the language such as Broca's and Wernicke area. When an injury occurs in the Wernicke area, it will cause the patient's speech of understanding to be lost, while for the patient suffering from injuries to the Broca's area, it will cause obstruction of the speech production. Next, we will discuss language-related disorders in the brain. Language disorder is also known as aphasia. From the result previous studies, several types of aphasia were found involving the relationship of language and the brain. The types of aphasia is Broca aphasia, Wernicke's aphasia, pure word deafness aphasia, conduction aphasia, anomic aphasia, aphasia, global aphasia, and aphasia reading and writing dyslexia. That's all from my presentation. If I have a wrong word or wrong what I'm explaining, I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and goodbye.